Hi friends, welcome back to my channel, and this is Windows Server 2025 Complete Master Course from Zero to Expert, and this is part number 30 video in this series. So in this specific video we are going to understand Hyper-V basic for beginners basically. So we will understand what is Hyper-V, how Hyper-V works, what are the things which is critical to Hyper-V, and what are the benefits of using Hyper-V. Also we are going to understand what are the basically best practices around Hyper-V deployment. So let's get started. So very first and basic question, what is Hyper-V? So Hyper-V is a virtualization platform from Microsoft that let you to create and run virtual machine on top of your physical server. So key points to understand: this is built on built-in role in Windows Server operating system, and allow multiple virtual machine to run on a single physical server. So if you see in this diagram, we have a single physical server. On top of that, we have installed our Windows Server 2025 operating system, and then we enable a Hyper-V hypervisor role. And once this role is enabled, we can create a multiple virtual machine and run on the single physical hardware. And this help in better hardware utilization and cost saving, since on a single hardware we can run multiple operating system, multiple virtual machines. It does support in better use of hardware utilization and cost saving also, since we can run a more than one operating system or one server in a virtual server in a single physical server. And this also supports features like virtual server, snapshot, live migration, and many more. So we will see this in action in upcoming few videos, where we are going to install Hyper-V, create a virtual machine on Hyper-V, then we are going to set up a Hyper-V replication, and then also we are going to create a two-node cluster, Hyper-V cluster with the shared storage, and then we are going to create a software-defined storage also, where we are going to create a Hyper-V cluster. So use case for Hyper-V is server consolidation. So on a single physical server, you can run a multiple server, and then you have a test and development, and then the disaster recovery also. Hyper-V support with the replication, you can plan for the disaster recovery also, with the planned failover and unplanned failover, both things. So that also we are going to see. And then we have a hypervisor concept. So in a hypervisor, basically you have a physical hardware, and top of that you install a hypervisor. In our case, we are going to, in this series, we are going to focus on Hyper-V, but there are other hypervisor also which is powerful, and some of them are very stable in the production environment, and being used in multiple enterprise, such as VMware vSphere environment with the ESXi hypervisor, and then we have a Proxmox V. So if you want to learn Proxmox or VMware or a Hyper-V, I have a dedicated video or dedicated course on these three hypervisor. And then hypervisor basically create and manage virtual machine on a hardware, and sits between hardware and virtual machine. So this is a software layer which sits between the virtual machine and physical hardware, and then allocates the CPU, memory, and storage to the virtual machine, and provide isolation for each virtual machine which is running on a single hardware, and manage the virtual machine resources also by allocating the CPU, memory, and other resources. Then this is the hypervisor architecture. Basically Hyper-V uses the layered architecture to run and manage the virtual machine. The top one, you can see the here virtual machine, and then we have hypervisor, Hyper-V hypervisor, and then we have a Windows Server 2025 operating system on the bottom of E. Everything basically we have a physical server. So physical server, you get install the Windows Server 2025, then install a Hyper-V role, and then you can create a virtual machines. So we are going to follow the same sequence on this is the architecture which we are going to follow in our lab to deploy and configure the Hyper-V basically. So why virtualization is important? So virtualization allow multiple virtual machines to run on single hardware or single physical server. So this reduce the hardware cost, increase the resource utilization based as the best interest of company, and then improve flexibility by using backup, recovery, migration, HA, and all those things, and simplify the backup and recovery. So now benefit of Hyper-V. So as we discussed, server consolidation is a best benefit, and then you have a cost saving, also high availability through Windows failover cluster, and then the flexibility and scalability. So you can, if you have a, let's say if today you have a 2 node or 3 node Hyper-V cluster, in future if you want to scale your infrastructure, you can add more host in existing Hyper-V cluster to basically scale your environment. And then Hyper-V use cases in enterprise environment. So we have a server consolidation, then reduce the hardware server and cost, and then test and development. So create isolated environment for testing for different department or different use case. And then you have a disaster and recovery. So replicate and recover a virtual machine quickly to your DR site or the secondary site, which can be designed as per your a disaster recovery plan or cyber recovery plan. And then secure workload. So run workload in the isolated virtual machine environment. So each virtual machine basically cannot talk to each other, so you can isolate basically your complete virtual machine infrastructure also. So best practices for beginners. So keep Hyper-V and Windows Server always updated. Allocate resource wisely, so you don't over provision or under provision your virtual machine or a physical server where you are planning to run a Hyper-V, or a virtual machine which you are planning to deploy. And take regular backup. So regular backup, if you have a third-party backup tools, make sure your virtual machines are getting backed up, which is critical to environment. And if you don't have any third-party virtual machine backup solution, then you can natively use Windows Server backup to take backup of your virtual machine. And then use virtual switch as per your infrastructure design. So there are 3 type of virtual switch which is um, uh, available to configure in Hyper-V: public, private, basically external, private, and internal. So we are going to discuss in upcoming video in detail about the configuration, how to configure it, and what are these networks. So you can basically you can plan to use your virtual switches as per your requirement and design. And monitor performance and resource utilization. So always make sure you manage and monitor your resource utilization of Hyper-V, and it is highly recommended to keep your infrastructure less than 80% utilized for your CPU and memory. And also one of the critical thing which you should monitor is a hard disk and IO latency or IO density of your Hyper-V host. So sometime your CPU and memory sits ideal, however you have a bottleneck, disk comes bottleneck. So these days it is highly recommended to use SSD as a Hyper-V virtual machine storage. And if you need more basically throughput or more IOPS, then you should use a NVMe storage. So this is the basic of Hyper-V, what is Hyper-V and other things. So in the upcoming video, we are going to install a Hyper-V role on our Windows Server 2025, which I have created. This is my lab which I have created. So in this lab, we are going to install our basically first Hyper-V server, and then also we are going to create a 3-node Hyper-V cluster by using the shared disk. And then also we are going to create basically a 3-node Hyper-V cluster by using the software defined storage, which is storage space direct. So stay tuned. So thank you for watching. Please subscribe me for more videos, and if you have any query, any question related to this, you can post me my given mail IDs. Thank you once again. Bye bye.